This is a Lego detective from minifigure series 25. He's a unique minifigure coming along with 12 others, each sold in these little boxes for $5. But to me, the detective stands out the most because he's an entirely black and white 1950s detective. He even comes with a real magnifying glass and a false clue. So today we're gonna build a giant, entirely gray 1950s detective's office building, complete with 3 floors full of fun features and little details. So let's get started. So I thought we'd have to make this ugly foundation, but I actually found this white 32 by 32 base plate that actually does the job. So we can start by adding a couple layers of bricks to start the structure of the build. And I actually left a little gap at the front to build steps that'll go up to the building. And I'm actually going to use gray tiles on top of gray bricks for this technique. But now that that's done, we can start doing the floor by layering these bricks and adding them to the build sideways. And this building technique ensures the floor is nice and smooth. But we can attach some of these snot bricks on the side. So we can attach some furniture like this table, these 2 chairs, this nice desk with a little computer on it, and a copying machine. And due to our detective's love of fish, I'm also building an aquarium full of fish and sea plants. It's also the entrance to a secret compartment, which we'll get to later. We can also add a little carpet and a nice little TV in the background. But now it's time to do a lot of math to figure out the exact amount of pieces I want for the exact amount of money. And while we wait for those to arrive, we can start working on the front of our building with the same modified bricks as before. But this wall is really plain and uninteresting, so we can add these dark gray pillars that add a color accent and a nice texture. Now there is a little gap on the bottom, but we can fill that out and it looks great. Now for the windows, it'd be a little weird to just put glass inside the wall, so I spent approximately 45 minutes, which is way too long to build a really nice window design. Except this one might have an illegal building technique and you can only see through half of it, so I built a second one. So as we attach them, they might be a little bit fragile, but that's okay. At least they don't look too bad from the back. So for the door, I think gray just blends in a little too much, so I think we should take this other clear piece from a different door and put it in the gray one. So we can attach it and it looks great, but we should still add a little doorknob to make it able to open and close. And I also built this little triangle thing with hinges, so we can put it on top of the door. We can also add some pillars under it and it looks great. But for now, this thing is way too tall, so we're gonna bring it down a little bit. We also need to bring down the windows, add these little lights, and an address plate. I also used all of my remaining mercenary bricks to build one side of the build, so I needed to go to the Lego store to get some more. But this wall is really plain and boring, so we're going to take some of these darker gray rounded bricks to give it some more detail. We also built up the other walls and it looks great, as you can see. And we're also going to add some of those bricks on the front just to make it look a little more interesting. But let's get back to the inside where we need to build a chair for our receptionist, nearly headless Rick, which I built using this nice white suit. But Rick was so headless that corporate needed to put him in reception, but you can still nicely see him through the door. Speaking of doors, I think we should make a back door with this one. And I'm actually going to add stair steps in front so that when we have the door, people can go in and out really easily. But now we can finally add our roof, which is the base for the second floor that's completely empty for now, because this entire second floor is going to be an office for our best detectives like Jack Nobody. No one knows who he really is, but he's one of the best of the city. Or Old Gary, who's still dressed as if he were in the 18th century. Or Josie Colonel, the personal assistant to our beloved fish lover. But we're going to put in a desk for each and every one of our detectives. Like Old Gary, who really only ever watches TV all day. But when our detectives need a break from work, they can go in the lunchroom, which is on the other side of this little wall, with a vending machine full of yummy stuff and bars in front so no one tries to steal anything. So we can install it in the break room along with this really nice fridge. We can also add some tables that look great and a little copier in the work area. But now that the interior is done, we can start building up the walls. But not all of them yet, because on this side I want to build a balcony with these little gates around the outside. And we can start by building the walls around the balcony. So I can put this little glass door in between them. So we can then add this little thing on top so the door can slide open and shut. But we should probably take care of the front of the build with the same columns as we had on the first floor. I also built this improved window design along with a very big one for the middle. And we can attach them all onto our build and it just looks great. But now it's finally time to attach the second floor to the first floor. And this is officially the biggest thing I've ever built and it looks just great. But I finally got my shipment of pieces from Bricklink. And this is full of pieces we're going to need for this build, plus an alligator. So we can start making the third floor that's going to be solely dedicated to Detective Van Trout. So we can start by making this desk with a computer, some case files, this fancy glass of wine, and of course a fish tank. And we can add this beautiful customized desk to our build. But our detective can't just stand in front of it all day long, so I built this super cool chair using lightsaber hilts as armrests, and it looks great, especially when we add it to the desk. But we can also add a clip to it so we can attach Van Trout's loop, and this is just perfect. But we actually need to turn the desk around so he can take appointments. And we can actually start building our back wall, where we can use these transparent pieces to hold fish with this nice greenish color. And I know it looks like they're dead, but they're not dead, trust me. But I guess we can use these cool transparent blue pieces and put them in the tanks, and I guess it looks like they're swimming. But we need to add this small table that's meant to hold a miniature design of not only our current build, but also our previous builds, like Turkey Doom's Turkey Shop, the Halloween house, last year's Thanksgiving's video, and the warehouse. But these little models are going to help our detective have a better overview of the city. But right next to it, we can build another triangular aquarium for our red herring, using these two windshield pieces. And we could attach it using Technic, but it looks a little wacky, so I guess we can use this instead. But we can finally put our detective's favorite fish inside. But I also want to build a bigger aquarium that's full of plants as well, and we can put it on the other side of the desk. And I also think we should build a little investigating table where our detective can look at fingerprints and stuff like that. But if you're wondering about this empty spot, we'll get to it later, because we need to start building the walls that look the same as on our previous floors. And I also made another balcony, so we can continue the front from our previous two floors. And that being done, we can finally add it to the rest of our build. And this thing is just absolutely massive. Just look at it compared to our detective. It's huge. But now that that's done, we can start building our roof with these gray plates. And I know it kind of looks ugly for now, but later we're gonna make it look really nice. But for now, we have to focus on a very mysterious case. More and more people from our city are just going missing without an explanation. But I guess it would be easier for him to give that case to the other detectives, so that Van Trout can start thinking about what he wants to put on the roof. Like this nice garbage can and this box full of weaponry for defense. But there was suddenly a problem with the case. Van Trout's detectives had been kidnapped as well, and so had his wife. And his fish. This was getting personal. So he took his accessories and went off for an investigation. And he searched and 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 searched for any clues. But every time something led to something, at the end, it all led to nothing. Until this moment, where Van Trout was just having a little walk, and he noticed this very suspicious looking box, built with these shiny black panels and covered with plants. So he just decided to take a look inside, and there they were. Joey, Fozzie, Galen, the farmer, Turkey Doom, all three of our detectives, Van Trout's wife, and of course his fish, all trapped in this tiny cell. But wait, what is this place? There are a couple of weird futuristic machines connected with this cool flexible tube. But what
Watch
the
out!
My name is Catapult, and you walked into my trap. See, I needed you to find me. I have all the powers to take over the world, but I am missing intelligence. So today, I took you, the most intelligent man in the world, to suck your brain out. It will be easy with my brand new brain-sucking machine.
All hope was lost. All the citizens were locked up. Van Trout was getting his brain sucked out, and Catapult was gonna rule the world.
What? No, the brain-sucking machine. No, what are you doing? Don't free them. Don't open those bars.
Everybody get out!
Well, that did not go as planned. What do you think, Bubbles? Is it going to explode? Yeah, it's probably going to explode.
They were all thrilled to run freely and wildly again. And as our detective makes his way back to the police station, we can finish it all off with this wonderful roof design. It just looks so great, it's crazy. And just take a look at the entire building, it looks so great. And it's by far the coolest and biggest thing I've ever built. And because Van Trout pretty much saved the city from complete despair, he got pretty rich. And when I say pretty rich, I mean like loaded with diamonds. And when I say loaded with diamonds, I mean like loaded with diamonds. That he can store in the secret compartment we built earlier that's under the floor of the police station. But he also got tons of trophies for being the best detective that he can put in the blank spot in his office, along with his retrieved favorite fish. Which means we completely finished our building. So I'd really appreciate it if you'd consider subscribing to the channel, because I spent a lot of time and money on this video. I mean, after all, we did go from this to this, which is kind of crazy when you think about it, but you can definitely stay hyped for my next video. I'll see you then, thanks for watching, and bye-bye. Okay, name reveal time. What's his name? Detective Harold Van Trout. Yeah!